In today's session, we will learn how to integrate Google Workspace apps like Gmail, Google Sheet, Google Calendar, and Google Tasks in self-hosted n8n, that is your VPS hosting. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I have logged into my VPS Hostinger instance. Okay, this is a blank canvas that you can see. It's a new workflow. So let's name our workflow as n8n integration with Google Apps. Okay, a workflow is created. So as a first step, add the first step by clicking on this plus icon. Okay, once you click, the first node that we are going to add is our trigger node. Okay, let's select a on form submission trigger node. Okay, in the last session we have seen that on how to submit on form submission node. Let's do that quickly. So let's name the title as welcome to n8n workflow session. Okay, the form description is enter your details for the session. Okay, so now we have to add the form elements, right? Let's add one by one. Like for example, I need the name of the user, their email address, and the address. Okay, field. So these three fields I need from the user, right? So I just add one by one. The first element will be labeled as enter your name here. Okay, so it will be of type element type will be text, and placeholder is something if you want to give an example like a sample text that the user can refer and understand what this field about, but this field is self-explanatory, so it no need to add a placeholder. But this field is required field, so I have to select this as required. Okay, my next form, add the next form element and name it as enter your email ID here. Okay, something like this. And the element type is not text, it will be of type email. Okay, and there's no need to for a placeholder because this is self-explanatory, but this is a required field. So select the required field and add the third element as enter your address here. Okay, so this is again of type text, no need of placeholder, and this one will keep it as optional. Okay, for better understanding, and we'll see how the required field and optional field behaves in our form, right? So respond when form is submitted, and we'll see one more option here. If you click on add option, you see this append n8n attribute, right? If you select that, it is selected by default. So what does this mean is when you execute, say for example, I will execute my step, execute step. So I see the form. Okay, with the title which I have mentioned as welcome to n8n workflow session, and the description, and it is giving me the fields that I have added in my form. So these are all required field, and this is the optional fields which you can differentiate with this red color star symbol, right? So what I want to show is this part where you see the message as form automated with n8n. So normally for testing environment it's okay to say that this form is automated using n8n, but in production we don't want this label to be shown here, right? So how to remove this? If you just go back and let me stop listening, and I have to unselect this. Okay. So now if I execute the step, see, I see the form, I see the elements, but I don't see that message form automated using n8n. Okay, this is how it should be, right? So let's close this and stop listening. So our form is now ready. Okay, go back to the canvas. So our first node is added, that is a trigger node which is on form submission. Now the next step is to add an action node. So action node, we will click on the plus symbol and try to add an action node, which is our Google Sheets. Select the Google Sheets and select, like you can select in the various actions available, right? For creating the sheet, you have create spreadsheet, and for deleting the sheet, you have delete spreadsheet. Like entire document will be created or deleted. But within the sheet, you have various actions that you can perform, right? Like for example, append a row in a sheet, clear sheet, create sheet, or delete sheet, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me just show you by creating a spreadsheet, right? We'll select create spreadsheet. Okay. Now you can see there is a credentials already added, but we will try to add a new credentials. So if there are no credentials here, we will have to go and authenticate this node with our credentials. So create new credentials. Okay. So unlike our last session where we integrated all this Google Workspace app with on n8n Cloud, where if you click on create credentials, we just had this sign in with Google button, right? If you click on that and you sign in with the Gmail, it was able to connect to that account. But here in VPS setup, we have to do some additional steps. Okay, so how to do that, how to fill all these fields? So it is already given, the documentation is very clear. Like see, if you need a help to fill these fields, click on the document. So open that document. So you will get the clear steps of how to do it. So this is what I was telling you. For n8n Cloud, you have to just click on sign in with Google, and then you will be able to sign in and with your Gmail account, or you will be able to access your Google Calendar. All those things were very easy, simple step. Only one step, where you are signing in with your Google account. Correct. But here for Google OAuth with on VPS, authentication setup on VPS, we'll have to follow on these 5 steps. That is, create a Google account, Google Cloud Console project, then enable the APIs, required APIs, then configure your OAuth consent screen, create your Google OAuth client credentials, and finish your n8n credential setup. So these 5 steps we have to do. Okay, let's do it one by one. The first one, to do this first step, we need to actually log into our console.cloud.google.com, right? So we need to log in with our Gmail address. So let me use the new Gmail address, which is which is not having the Google. Okay, just to show you from step 0, like from the beginning when you log in, how you will see it, right? So let me complete the two-factor authentication. Okay. So it's always better to do it live so that you will see all the errors and the fixes that we can apply, right? So, okay, now I logged into my console.cloud.google.com account, right, with my Gmail ID. So I will see this welcome screen where I have 300 free credits, right? So I need to create, the first step says create a Google Cloud Console project, right? So there is no project. So if you click on this, select a project, there are no projects, right? This is a new account. So you need to create a project. So it's very simple. You just have to click on this new project and give a name to your project. Like for example, n8n integrations, something like this, and just clear. Great. Okay, your project is creating. Okay, your project is created. You select the project. Okay, so this is your project. Okay, I have completed my first step. Okay, next is enable. For all you don't have to worry. You already have all the steps listed here down below. If you go through, the complete step-by-step guide is there. You don't have to worry. You just see how it has been done. That's all. Next, second step is enable API, right? So enable APIs. So for everything, for enable API, I have to go to API and services and library. There's a library of APIs which are there provided, so which we can go and enable whatever is required for our use case or workflow. Say I need a Google Sheet API, so I click on Google Sheet API, search for it, and then select the API and enable it. Simple. The steps are already given. See, the steps are already given. Go to API services library and then select your API and then enable it. Okay. So my API is enabled now. Second step is completed. What is the third step? Third step is configure your OAuth consent screen. So if you see here, OAuth consent screen, right? Click on OAuth consent screen and click on get started. That's what it is mentioning. If you go below for OAuth consent screen, you go to the project API services OAuth consent screen and click on get started. That's what we are doing here. We click on get started. Okay, it will ask you to do a project configuration. So you have to give a name to your API. Like say, for example, the slim_sheets, because it is Google Sheets, right? So I'll just give some meaningful name. Okay, the email support email, I'll give the same name. Same audience, like you can see, if it is only internal to your organization, you can select internal, or this is for testing purpose, I can give external also. Click on next, and here contact information, I can give anything. So I'll just select any one of my Gmail and then click on next. You agree to the user data policies and click on continue and create. OAuth configuration is created. So OAuth configuration is created. So my third step is completed. So fourth step is create your Google OAuth client credentials. So for that, what I have to do is I should either go to clients here or create your OAuth client here. Click on this. Okay. Once you do that, it will ask you to create a application type. So it is web application and name of the application. Some meaningful name you can give, anything you can give. This is what this step is important. You need to authorize, you need to add a URI. Okay, authorize redirect URI. So this redirect URI, you get it from your n8n credentials form, right? This one, this page. So here you can see OAuth redirect URL. So this one you have to copy. Copy and add URI and paste here. Okay, then click on create. Okay, as soon as you click on create, you get your client ID. So copy the client ID and paste it here. It's asking for client ID, so copy and paste it here. Okay, next is client secret. So for client secret, you can download it for future reference, or else if you just click OK, you get this client, right? This OAuth client, right? ID is created, right? So you can just click on edit. If you don't find it in that pop-up window, you can just go and click and copy it from here. Okay, and then paste it. Okay, they paste it. Once you paste the client ID, client secret, it will enable the sign in with Google button. So if you should click on that, and you should sign in only with the Gmail ID for which a client ID and client secrets are created. Okay, you select that Gmail ID. See, this is a error. One more error again. Okay, so it says this is a testing completed the Google verification. The app is currently being tested, right? So the app is in testing phase. So for that, what I have to do is I have to go back and add a test user. So in audience tab, you go and add a test user. So this is the ID with which I am testing it right now, right? So just give a test account. Okay, save this. Okay, my test ID is added. Okay, now if I go back and sign in again. Okay, so you have been given access. So my test ID is given access. So I am able to continue. So select all the permissions. If you want to give all the permissions, select all. Otherwise, if you want to restrict, you can just select any one of the check boxes. So for testing purpose, I'll select all and then continue. Okay, you can see the connection is successful. So if you go back to your authentication screen, it says account is connected. So these are the steps you need to follow, right? So you can rename it with the slim thread 2 or something like this. Name, save it, okay, and close it. So this is the account which is with which this spreadsheet is authenticated, right? So now let me create the sheet. So I'll resources document create and title of the resources n8n Google Sheet integration something some name and then sheet within the sheet within that Excel is user details user details. Okay, so this is the thing. Now if I execute this, if I execute, I enter the form email address. So if I don't, if in the mandatory field, if I don't give anything, I get this error. This field is required. You will not be able to proceed. So I need to give the Gmail ID. So, but if you, for optional field, if you don't enter anything, that's fine. It will not give any error. But still, like, let me just give. Okay, and submit. So my workflow is executed. If you go back, my workflow is executed, right? Node is successfully executed. So that means a form is submitted, but a spreadsheet is created. My next action node is to create a spreadsheet, right? So let me just go and verify whether my spreadsheet is created. Google Sheet, login. I have to log in with the same ID. Okay. To log in with the same ID and then try to see if my Excel is created. See this n8n Google Sheet integration and the sheet name is user details. So my spreadsheet is created. That means my workflow is working perfectly fine. That means my Google Sheet is integrated now with the trigger node. Okay. So, for example, like see, but the value that I have added in the form is not added in the spreadsheet. This is a create node. So let's delete this and see add a action as append a row in a sheet. Okay. Let me select the same credentials. Credential to sheet within the document. Append a row is action. And from see here there's one more error. See, it's forbidden. It says that Google Drive API has not been used in the project. So that means I need to add a enable a Google Drive API first. So go back to this same, your Google Cloud Console, API services library, and then you search for Google Drive API. Okay, select the first one, Google Drive API, and then enable it. Okay, my Google Drive API is enabled. Now if I go back, append a row, see, I can see the sheets. So the sheet which I am referring is this one, sheet integration. Okay, and within that sheet, this is a user details is the sheet. So to map the columns, right, to map the columns with the columns in the sheet. In the sheet, I don't have anything right now. If you see, I don't have any columns, right? So I can do a manual mapping by creating the columns in my Google Sheet like name, email address, and email address, and so on, right? But here I have one more option as map automatically. What it will do is it will add. See, let's see what it will do. If I execute this step, these are the form data, right? So if I execute this step, see what is happening. Go back to can see my append row sheet node is executed successfully. What is happening to my sheet? See what is happening to my sheet? What happened? All the columns got created manually, automatically, sorry. Automatically, and it got mapped. What it did was, see if I go to my node, all this column, enter your name here. It created a first column as enter your name here. Then it created a second column as enter your ID, email ID here. Enter your email ID, enter your address here. So all this field, the field name were taken as a column, and the values that a user is entering was added to the sheet as a values, as a row. Okay. So if you don't have any columns created, you can do it automatically also. So let's remove this, delete, and then create the columns. Okay. Address, submitted, date and time. Okay. So I have this columns created manually. Now if I go back to my canvas, and then I will execute the flow again. Okay. I give name as Taslim and email saved and address Kuala Lumpur, and then submit. So my form is submitted, my append row is executed, and workflow is executed successfully. That means, okay, that means it is wrong. That means it is still manually, it is still automatically adding the rows and columns. So what we have to do is, actually there is one change that we need to do. What is that change? This map automatically, right? You need to change it to map each column manually. Okay. That means when you change it to map each column manually, it will fetch all the column names in this sheet. We have name, email, address, submitted date and time as the column headings. So I need to map this manually with the data that is entered. So what I have to do, under name, I want this field. So this value, whatever user is entering with this value in this field, I have to add it in a column with the column name as name. Okay. Similarly, for email column, I need to fetch the values within this field. So select that, hold it, drag it, and drop in this box. Okay. If you know the expression, you can type the expression directly. If you don't know, this is very simple step. Select this, drag it in the required box. Okay. Similarly, submitted date and time, submitted at this one. Okay. Now if I execute, see what is there in my sheet. Nothing is there, right? Nothing is there. The columns which I have created is there. So if I execute this step, what should happen? All these values should come in my Excel. So execute. See, executed successfully. I have got the output. If I go and see my sheet, all the values are there in my sheet. Okay. So that is your manual mapping and automatic mapping in the form. Okay. So we have successfully integrated Google Sheet to our n8n workflow. Okay. Similarly, what we can do, we can integrate any action, like say for example Gmail. I will select action as send mail. Okay, send mail, and here I'll select authentication. I have to authenticate with my ID. So I'll show you one more time so that it will be more clear. We'll follow these steps again. Okay, we'll follow these steps again. Okay, so what I will do? Create new credential. Okay, this is a URI. So I have to go to my project, select the project, and then what I have to do? Second step is select the project, enable the API. So which API I have to enable here? Now I have to enable the Gmail API. So go back to this, go back to API library, or you can go here and then select API and services and then library. Now this time I want to enable Gmail API. So just type Gmail, you will get a Gmail API. Select this and click on enable. Okay, my API is enabled. What is the next step? Configure the OAuth consent. OAuth consent is already configured. Okay, consent screen is already configured. Okay, the next step was OAuth client credentials. I need to create a client credentials. Okay, so go to clients and create new credentials, client credentials. So this time it will be web application name will be some meaningful. Say Slim Gmail. Then add the URI. This URI will be taken from here. Copy, paste, and then create. Okay, I got the client ID. Copy the client ID, paste it here. Copy the client secret. This time I have the secret. So don't worry, our session is recorded. Recording is completed. Okay. So because client ID and client secrets are not to be shared. So I'll delete this. So sign in with Google. Click on this. Sign in with the same Google account. Continue. Select all the permissions. Continue. And connection is successful. That means my account, my Google account, Gmail account, so give name as the same Gmail. Okay. Then save it. My Gmail account is integrated with my workflow. Okay. Close this. Now, if you go back to Canvas, my send message is integrated with my workflow. Okay. So, but I have to add to whom I am sending, right? All these details. Otherwise, it will show in the red, right? Because it is not completed yet. So, go back. Okay. Now, my authentication is credentials are set up. Okay. Now, what I have to do is I have to configure other things. Send. To whom? I need to send to the email ID which is given in the form. So, to select the email, drag and drop. Okay. And then subject, mention as welcome to n8n session. It will be HTML. And then here I have to mention hi. Hi, the name of the person who has entered. So just click on this expression. Okay. Select the expression and then click on this. Now you get the screen where you can simply drag and drop. So hi, and I want the name. Whoever is entered the form. Welcome to n8n session. Something simple. Just keep it short. You can add your welcome goodies, URLs, reference material, whatever you want to do, give to that new user. You can just add all those stuffs here, all those details here. Okay. So it's all done. Now just go back and then see my data. Google Sheet is appended with the data and email trigger. Let's execute this again. Then let's execute this flow. I want to send an email from my Gmail ID, which is let's execute. I'll show you what I meant. So the user left a new user. Say new user name I mention as say Hati. Okay. And I need to give some email ID. So let me give let me give the same name because I need to verify the email is received or not also, right? So let me give my email ID and let me give my name only to avoid confusion. Okay. And address, let's leave it blank for this time and submit. So this is the same record which got added, the same record. Okay. But along with that, all my three nodes are executed. So it has appended the row, appended this row, but this time I have not given address, so it has not taken the address. Okay. And it has also triggered this send mail. Send mail means what is this node should do actually? It should send a mail from my Gmail ID, which is this taslimmanu.saudagar to a user with this email ID. Okay, let's verify this. So if you see the sent mail with this ID, let me drag it here with this ID. This is the authenticated credential ID. So I have a mail in the sent item, which is sent to this email, which is entered by the user. Okay, correct. So this mail is received. Now, if I want to check whether the mail is already received, whether I have received a mail, let's verify that as well. Okay, see, I have a mail. I have a mail from this email ID to this email ID, and subject says welcome to n8n session. Okay, this is HTML formatting and all you can do better, but just we are verifying, we are just seeing that all these nodes are integrated properly used in UPS by following these steps, VPS by following these 5 steps. Okay, so what we have seen today, we have seen how we can integrate Gmail, Google Sheet and Gmail node to in our workflow by following this authentication steps. I hope this was useful and you are able to apply the same with all other Gmail workspace apps. Okay, the steps remains the same. You just have to follow them and you will be good to go. Okay, save the workflow. Always remember, saving the workflow is very important. Okay. Okay, that's all I had for this today's session. We'll connect in the next session next Sunday. Thank you. Thank you for your time and have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.